Good morning, I'm Elton Robinson with your March 25th grain and oilseed update. Excessive and frequent rainfall continues to impact many Mid-South producers. According to the LSU Ag Center, on some of the hardest hit fields in Louisiana, farmers are still trying to save equipment and livestock. On early planted corn, producers are concerned about the loss of nitrogen fertilizer. Rice planting began in Arkansas in mid-March, but has slowed due to recent rains. According to the Arkansas Extension Service, there's a lot of drying left to do in many fields. Meanwhile, the domestic corn price in Brazil is approaching a record $6 to $6.50 a bushel. According to the Soybean and Corn Advisor, currency devaluation in the country has resulted in record high exports from Brazil. Livestock producers are having to compete with exporters for the dwindling supply of corn. The tight supply is expected to be resolved with the harvest of Brazil's second corn crop. Brazil's Agriculture and Livestock Federation estimates that soybean yields in southern Mato Grosso will be below the 3-year average by about 4 bushels an acre due to excessive moisture. Mato Grosso is still expected to produce a record crop of 7.5 million metric tons or 275.6 million bushels due to an 8% increase in acres. Let's turn to exports for the week ending March the 17th. Wheat exports of 356,000 metric tons were down 15% from the previous week and 2% from the prior 4-week average, with the Philippines, Thailand, Japan, Honduras, and Venezuela as primary destinations. Corn exports of nearly 1 million metric tons were up 14% from the previous week and 13% from the prior 4-week average, with Mexico and Japan combined taking about 580,000 metric tons. Grain sorghum exports of 143,000 metric tons were down 5% from the previous week and 1% from the prior 4-week average. Destinations included China, South Africa, Pakistan, Japan, and Mexico. Rice exports of 58,000 metric tons, down 23% from the previous week and 3% from the prior 4-week average, were reported to Venezuela, Japan, Mexico, Canada, and Taiwan. Soybean exports of 566,000 metric tons were down 26% from the previous week and 50% from the prior 4-week average. China and Japan combined took 563,000 metric tons. Other countries included Bangladesh, Mexico, Pakistan, Indonesia, and Japan. Soybean meal exports of 141,000 metric tons were down 43% from the previous week and 47% from the prior 4-week average, with Mexico, the Philippines, Peru, Venezuela, and Guatemala as primary customers. Soybean oil exports of nearly 7,000 metric tons were down 86% from the previous week, with Mexico, Canada, and the United Arab Emirates as biggest customers. Beef exports of 11,000 metric tons were down 2% from the previous week, but up 4% from the prior 4-week average, while pork exports were down 11% from the previous week, which had been a second straight marketing year high. Well, that's it for this week's report. I'm Elton Robinson. Join me next week where we'll review exports as well as the March 31st prospective plantings report.